Nietzsche once said, every deep thinker is more afraid of being understood than of being misunderstood. One of the most respected and well-known philosophers of history took that to heart and said, how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Today we're talking about men who do this thing that I like to call over-philosophize. You know, when back in ancient Greece philosophy meant love of wisdom? Well, now it means just thinking random shit. What does wisdom mean? It means not just knowing about something, but practically applying it to real life and see if it works. For example, you could think that you know that jujitsu is just a bunch of sweaty guys grabbing each other for an hour in weird positions and that it's gay. But true wisdom is about understanding that, yeah, it's gay. Okay, no, but for real, true wisdom actually comes from trying to practically navigate in life. That's what philosophy originally aimed to do, to help people navigate in life. Now it's just all about thinking the thinkiest of thoughts and just going nowhere and just trying to appear to be smart. Just thinking and talking makes you weak because you're never acting on your words. You're just over here thinking, why do I exist? Why people are so bad? What happens after that? And while of course it is okay to ask these questions and think about them, if this is your primary focus, you lose sight of actual philosophy, actual living. I mean, I met dudes who are like this, and I was this dude in the past. And if you have a conversation with these types of men, you can instantly see that they just live in their head all the time. When you tell them something about life, something about that just usually comes from experience and actually living, they'll just quote some random podcast dude or a philosopher and say, it's not true. You can even say something positive like, oh, today I thought of 3 things I am grateful for, and I'm just really glad that I'm alive. And these guys will find some way to slip in, actually, we're living in a simulation and one day we are all gonna die, so it doesn't matter if you're grateful. Look, I believe there is knowledge in understanding that life is temporary, that universe and existence itself is complicated, and that questions like who am I, who are you, who's Joe are important to ask. But again, true wisdom comes from understanding that life is temporary, but so what? You still have to live it, so why not be grateful for it and try to improve? If you sit there hitting your vape after a night of partying with your boys and you don't attempt to work on something, you don't attempt to get into a relationship, you just not working on anything meaningful and just playing video games all day, every day in your life, and bro, I'm not gonna take you seriously when you hit me with questions like, whoa, bro, isn't it concerning that we might be living in a simulation? Like,
isn't that concerning?
Bro, maybe you should put that thinking energy into actions and actually try to improve your life. Living life as a man is actually extremely simple, and we idiots just overthink it. I now believe the majority of mental problems for a man comes from a lack of movement. If you're sitting in your room all day, or maybe you go to school or sit in your office, then you're just all day you're inside of your head and you get all these philosophical ideas that are not productive. Just plan an hour every day where you go to the gym, or maybe you go to martial arts, or you can even just go outside to walk. Any movement is fine and it will get rid of most of your mental issues. Then balance your time every day between working on something meaningful and getting involved in a hobby you like. For example, now I work on YouTube and video editing on freelance and some random jobs in the real world too. But in my spare time, I play some video games and board games. If you can't do that every day, where you just balance between something meaningful you like to work on and some hobby, and you're just working some job you don't necessarily like, well, good. Look for signs to be grateful, like you get steady amounts of money, or you learn a skill in that job, or maybe you just learn to endure. Then go out with your friends, spend some time with your girl, or try to get into a relationship, or try to spend some time with your family, or just interact with random people. Learn a skill. Like, for example, right now I'm learning Turkish because my girl is Turkish and we want to communicate better, and also for me to communicate with her family better. But it doesn't matter, just learn a skill, something new every day. Stop engaging in bad habits, whatever they are in your life. Like, it could be smoking, or drinking too frequently, or eating too much junk food, or binge watching TV shows or movies, or just gaming too much. Also, get money. I'm not saying that you need to be a millionaire, but just have some source of income in your life. And if you're younger, this source of income could be a great way to learn and experience some independence from your parents. And that's it, boys. That's the blueprint for life. I can already hear your keyboards typing, so I'm gonna say it. Of course, you can philosophize and think more deeply of life, but just when it comes to actual living, guys, come on. It's actually pretty simple. Just live your life and take life as it comes. Sure, it's not easy, but it's not easy to over-philosophize and overthink all the time too. So just find the most basic practical problems in your life, and you will realize that fixing those and just experiencing life is what life is actually all about. Thank you for watching.